Ah, back for another theory, I see. Well, I hope you're ready to have your world rocked, because this theory is something. In my opinion, at least. So, Portal. This game from Valve has had puzzle lovers like me spend lots of time playing it, and for a game that has become this famous, of course there are theories about it. So let's talk about the main character herself, Chell. She's a test subject and is known to be a daughter of Aperture scientists. But she's mostly a mystery. So who are her parents? And how are her parents connected with the events in Portal? We may be surprised out to find that her parents are rather important in the events of Portal 1 and 2. Her parents are Cave and Caroline. Let's look into this. To start off, when you walk into a room where Bring Your Daughter to Work Day was held as is shown in Portal 2, you will notice an experiment involving a potato that has grown to a huge size. If you look closely on the corner of the poster for the experiment, you will notice a little scribble that says, by Chell. This means that Chell made that experiment and is the daughter of an Aperture employee, specifically the daughter of Cave Johnson and Caroline. Now, how do we know? For starters, take a look at Chell's science project. It has flourished and grown to a large plant, while the others have stayed the same size they were. How did this happen? She possibly used a rapid growth chemical. But Chell would most likely not steal anything because judging from her handwriting, she's pretty young. So how did she get it? Cave Johnson gave it to her. He doesn't mind cheating, judging by how he gives tumors, superheated brain implants, mantis DNA injections, and other unsafe scientific procedures to his volunteers. He also has the access to one of the most advanced science laboratories in the world, so taming that chemical wouldn't be that hard. Alright, now let's look at another thing. The painting of Cave Johnson with Caroline. Now, oil paintings are mostly custom made for families, not for co-workers. This reveals that Caroline is most likely married or counting Cave Johnson. Also, if you look closely in the background on the left, you will notice a young girl, which is Chell. Back when she wasn't a test subject. Back when Cave was still alive, and back when Caroline was still human. Chell has lived in Aperture her whole life, which is also confirmed in the comic Lab Rat when you see a teddy bear near Chell's bed. And Ratman is also connected to the theory. After Caroline is turned to GLaDOS and immediately starts killing the employees of Aperture, except for Chell and Ratman. It is established throughout the game in Ratman's den that Ratman was once an Aperture employee who survived GLaDOS' wrath and hides from her. Chell, on the other hand, is spared because she is Caroline's daughter. Ratman escapes and hatches a plan to free Chell. He knows if GLaDOS knows she is Caroline, and therefore knows Chell is her daughter, then she would never let her leave. However, if he simply kills GLaDOS, Aperture would collapse and kill Chell and Ratman in the progress. So he erases Caroline's personality from GLaDOS. GLaDOS then finds a small child, not knowing why she's there, and raises her to be a test subject. Ratman leaves clues for Chell to find. When the time is right, she begins testing. She would follow the messages left by Ratman. She learns of Ratman's erasing GLaDOS' memory. If Chell tells GLaDOS that she is Caroline, her and Ratman's escape plan would be foiled. This explains why Chell is actually mute in the first game. In the events of the first game, Ratman is killed presumably during the events of the game. GLaDOS discovers that Chell is following Ratman's advice and kills him. This is why he's not present at the end of the game to escape with Chell. However, before he died, he realized his plan might fail because of his death and created a plan B. During his time exploring Aperture, he finds Wheatley and tells him to help Chell out of Aperture. This explains why Wheatley helps you in the beginning of Portal 2 in the first place. Wheatley, though, wakes up Chell later than he was supposed to.
Test subjects do experience some cognitive deterioration after a few months in suspension. Now, you've been under for quite a lot longer.
Chell has amnesia because of her long slumber and therefore remembers nothing of GLaDOS being Caroline, and the death of all the Aperture scientists. Now let's go back a little bit. When Cave Johnson was poisoned by moon rocks, he specifically asked for Caroline's mind to be uploaded into GLaDOS.
The point is, if we can store music on a compact disc, why can't we store a man's intelligence and personality on one? So I have the engineers figuring that out now. Brain mapping. Artificial intelligence. We should have been working on it 30 years ago. I will say this, and I'm going to say it on tape so everybody hears it 100 times a day. If I die before you people can pour me into a computer, I want Carolyn to run this place.
And placed in charge of the entire facility. Wouldn't it be more logical to have one of his head scientists to be in charge, since they would be more knowledgeable about running the huge science facility? Instead of that, Cave Johnson left his most important possession to the woman he loved most, Caroline. Now some of you may be wondering, why would GLaDOS be so mean to Chell if she was really her mother?
Well done. Here come the test results. You are a horrible person. That's what it says. A horrible person. We weren't even testing for that.
Well, GLaDOS never knew that her mind was part human. She never suspected that she was a mother. When she was turned into a potato, she heard Cave Johnson's voice and responded to it, causing her to freak out.
The testing area is just up ahead. The quicker you get through, the quicker you'll get your $60. Caroline, are the compensation vouchers ready?
Yes, sir, Mr. Johnson. Why did I just... Who is that? What the hell is going on here? Okay, I guess emotional outbursts require more than 1.6 volts. Now we know that. We just need to relax.
GLaDOS figured out who she was when she spent a long time thinking things over. And when she was done with that, she came to the conclusion that she was really part human. And she remembered her previous life, not only as Caroline, but also the mother of Chell. From that moment on, she is helpful and guides Chell to Wheatley, even going as far as pulling her out of space instead of just letting her go. And is very happy when she finds Chell survived.
Oh, thank God, you're all right.
And after Wheatley insults Chell for being adopted, an insult GLaDOS had previously made up, GLaDOS then counters Wheatley by saying that there is nothing wrong with being an orphan, and that Chell is not fat.
Alright, so that last test was seriously disappointing. Apparently, being civil isn't motivating you, so let's try her way, alright? Fatty, adopted fatty, fatty, no parents. What?
What exactly is wrong with being adopted?
What's wrong with being adopted? Lack of parents.
For the record, you are adopted and that's terrible.
And
Just
also,
work with me.
nothing. But some of my best friends actually are orphans.
Also,
But
look at her, you moron. She's not fat.
Before she learned she was Caroline, GLaDOS would have never defended Chell. She then realizes that if Chell finds out that she is her mother, she might feel the need to stay down there, but testing an aperture is dangerous. Instead, GLaDOS sends Chell to the surface, giving her the turret song, the companion cube, and her own little song about how her mind changed about Chell, and that she'll miss her as a goodbye gift. And another thing to add, the song the turret sang to Chell right before she left, here is what's translated to in English. Beautiful dear, my darling beauty, my child, oh heavens, that she esteems. Oh my dear, farewell, my dear child. Why don't you walk away, yes, far away from science? My dear, dear baby, all my beautiful, all my dear, all my dear, all my little girl, oh my dearest one. GLaDOS is literally singing about how Chell, her child, should leave Aperture Laboratories. Chell has been living in the laboratory since she was very young. Her parents are Cave, Johnson, and Caroline. And when GLaDOS realizes that she is Chell's mother, she decides that testing is unsafe for her daughter, so she sends her to the surface. This theory is rather intriguing and heartwarming in a way. But can it be disproven? Well, some have said that Cave died in 1976, and since GLaDOS' homicidal rampage happened in 2000X, any daughter of Cave's would have had to have been 23 years or older by the time that Bring Your Daughter to Work Day would have occurred. And the Potato Project looks like it was done by a child, as seen from the handwriting. But there's a flaw to that. After doing more researching, apparently Cave died in the late 1980s, not the 70s. So she could have been 13 years or older, or heck, maybe even younger. So that doesn't seem to be the case. Also, some people have stated that you can find a file in the game of Half-Life 2 that confirms that Caroline is her mother. Well, that would be amazing evidence if I could find it. I have never played Half-Life 2, sadly. I do plan to when I get the chance, though. But I also dug a lot for this file, and I didn't find anything. So the evidence right now is inconclusive, unless if you guys can send me to a place where I can find it. This theory is something else, but I can't help but feel that this is kind of a toss-up for me. Like the Star Wars theory I covered, I am battling what I want to believe and what is more logical. In this event, I think it may depend on what you would rather believe. Would you rather believe that Caroline isn't Chell's daughter, and more that GLaDOS is Caroline and that she grows a bond between you and her? Then you most likely won't believe this theory. You'll want to take this game on face value, and nothing's wrong with that. Or maybe you want to believe that Chell was the daughter of Caroline, whose mind is now inside GLaDOS. Then you want to believe in something deeper. It's all up to you, really, and either way, it's fine. Portal 1 and Portal 2 are amazing games that stretch your imagination and dazzle you with its puzzles. And no matter what you believe, this game will always be loved. But there is another thing. Even with all of the evidence that supports this theory, GLaDOS being Caroline and GLaDOS being nice to you, could all just be normal. Once GLaDOS found some humanity inside herself, she started to act more caring like a human would. And just because GLaDOS started acting more nice does not mean that she's Chell's mother. They'd become allies in that part of the game. So being nice to her would make more sense. Especially because Chell could have just smashed her with her foot, seeing that she was a potato. Also, just because Chell's project grew to an amazing size, doesn't mean that Cave gave her something to help her grow it. She could have been a really smart kid, so this may not prove that she's Cave's daughter in the first place. So all of this could have been normal, but the songs. Surely the songs that the turret sang that referred to Chell as pretty much being her daughter, plus the song was out of nowhere. GLaDOS just kicked her out, practically saying, "Get out of here because you make my life hell." But then a song with a sweet meaning comes along. Even with that, many can just say GLaDOS rose Chell from childhood, and maybe with her new look on humanity, maybe she views her as a quote-unquote child to her. Now, if that turret song doesn't prove anything in your mind, well, just listen to the credits song, Want You Gone.
She was a lot like you, maybe not quite as heavy. Now little Caroline is in here too.
Now, little Caroline is in here too? That being in a song that is being sung about Chell from GLaDOS, everything adds up. Even with everything before that can be written off, this can't. In this credit song, GLaDOS says that she was a lot like Caroline, and calls her Little Caroline. Little Caroline, the daughter of Caroline and Cave. Just when I thought this theory didn't have enough proof, this last song showed up. This theory is fun and heartwarming, and just makes the Portal story that much deeper than I originally thought. But still, this theory can be looked at in many ways. And back to what I was saying in the beginning, it is more what you want to believe. So many hints can be looked at as proven or disproven. So tell me what you guys think in the comments section. But as far as I'm concerned, Chell and GLaDOS are related.
Oh, thank God, you're all right. You know, being Carolyn taught me a valuable lesson. I thought you were my greatest enemy, when all along you were my best friend. The surge of emotion that shot through me when I saved your life taught me an even more valuable lesson. Where Carolyn lives in my brain.
Carolyn, delete.
Goodbye, Carolyn.
Hey, thank you for watching my video. If you liked the video, please leave a like, and also subscribe if you are new. Also follow me on Facebook and Twitter. Also, if you want to watch more theory videos, check out last week's where we discuss who created Majora's Mask. Click right here if you want to check out who really killed Uncle Owen and Aunt Beru in Star Wars. Also, if the next theory is out by the time you're watching this, click right here. Again, thank you for watching.